Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will be talking about a topic that has come in the newspaper recently. That is, the cabinet has decided to include four tribal communities into the list of scheduled tribes. Okay, in today's Hindu newspaper, you have this article where the cabinet has approved the addition of four tribal communities. So, in this video, we will be looking at what are these tribes, what are the characteristics of these tribes, and what are the constitutional mechanisms in order to protect these tribes. So stay tuned for the further information. First, let's discuss the issue. Cabinet has recently decided in order to include these four communities, that is the Hatti tribe from Himachal Pradesh, second one Narikuravar tribe, and also Kurivirakan tribe from Tamil Nadu, 2 and the 3, and the last tribe, that is Binjiha tribe from Chhattisgarh. This is actually in the borders of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. So these are the four tribal communities which would be included in the list of scheduled tribes. So from the prelims examination point of view, you need to know or you need to memorize the state to which this particular tribal community belongs. Okay, Hatti tribe, one important characteristics of this Hatti tribe is that these people, the tribal communities, the people who belong to this Hatti tribe, live by the trade of vegetables, fruits, and the food grains. Okay, they grow these commodities and they sell these commodities at a place called Hut. Okay, HAAT, which is a traditional market in the Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand area. So they carry out the trade in vegetables and fruits and also food grains, because they trade at a place called Hut, they're called as Hattis. Okay, one more important characteristics of the Narikuraval tribe. See, one important example or a case study of the Narikuraval tribe is the traditional occupation of these people is hunting. As we all know that hunting is prohibited because under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, the act of hunting is prohibited. These people also were being prosecuted because their traditional occupation was hunting. So recently what they have done, they have changed their economic organization from hunting to bead making. So these people move from one place to another place in search of raw material for the manufacturing of bead and also the market for beading. So these people, the bead making people of the Narikuravar tribe, has been recently included in the scheduled tribes list. And the last one is the Binjiha tribe that we have, Binjiha, which is from Chhattisgarh. And these people, one important characteristic, though these people are tribal communities, remember, we will be of the notion that most of the tribal communities or all the tribal communities, they have a different religion and they pray a different god. But when we talk about Binjiha community, which live in the borders of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, these people, the main deity for these people is Jagannath. Okay, the main is Jagannath. They pray Jagannath, Puri Jagannath of the Odisha. So Jagannath is their main deity, which means these people all have belief in Hindu gods. So all these examples are not required from the exam point of view. From the prelims exam point of view, you just have to know that these particular tribes are from the particular state. Okay, that would be essential. And also two important decisions taken by the cabinet, where in the Gond community, which live in the 13 districts of Uttar Pradesh, even these people were included in the ST list. This is the one more. And the second one is that the five subcategories of the Gond community. Just be aware of the five subcategories and just know that the tribal communities can also have subcategories amongst themselves. This is something that we have to take away for our exam point of view. So from here on, we will be looking at some of the static part which we will be studying under Schedule 5 and Schedule 6, and also some current affairs part. So this will be more or less a static part of the discussion. So how are these tribes defined? We'll be looking at the characteristics of tribes and what are these tribes. Okay, before that, how are these tribes defined? Where do we have in our constitution, where do we have the definition for tribes, and what is the process for adding a tribal community into the list of scheduled tribes? See, as of now, we had 705 scheduled tribes. After the addition of these four communities, we will have 709 scheduled tribes. Okay, so how do we add? How do we add the name of the community or a tribal community to the scheduled tribes, the list of scheduled tribes? Article 342 of the Constitution says, President with the consent of the governor, can add the name of a particular tribe into the list of scheduled tribes. See, once they're included in the list of scheduled tribes, they would get a whole lot of advantages with respect to employment, education, and social security benefits, including the specific schemes that would be rolled out by the government targeting tribes. So, once the community has been included in the list of scheduled tribes, then it becomes easy for these communities to access the benefits by the government. So, president, with the consent of the governor or with the consultation of the governor, can add a community into the list of scheduled tribes. And the role of parliament is very essential in amending these list. If at all a community has been added by the president, and any change in the list that had to be made, and that would be made by the parliament. This difference with respect to the powers of president and also parliament in addition and the amendment of the list is something that you should know. Next thing is about the characteristics of the tribes. Some of the basic characteristics of them. These are the characteristics that define tribes. So first one is the primitive traits. Okay, their traits are very primitive. The cultural traits are very primitive. Geographical isolation, distinct culture, a very unique culture. You can see in the image a very unique way of dressing. Okay, very unique way of outfit. So unique culture, shy of contact with the large community, shy of contact with the mainstream community, economic backwardness. These are the most important 5 characteristics of tribes. The next one would be the geographical distribution with respect to India. See, in India, we have 709 tribes as of now, which are called as the scheduled tribes, 709 tribes, and Indian tribal population is 8.6%. So out of the 140 crore people projected that we have, 8.6% of the people are tribes in India. So you can see in this geographical distribution, the blue part which has greater than 50%, and also the orange part greater than 50%, these two, blue and orange, you can see the majority of blue and orange in the northeastern region. So in the northeast region, the density of population is less, and also the percentage of tribal population to the mainstream population is very more. Okay, this is something that we need to know. Out of the 8.6% population we have, the northeast contributes more percentage of population. So this northeast region, for the protection of the tribes in the northeast region, we have 6th schedule in the constitution. For the protection of the tribes in the mainland, we have 5th schedule in the constitution. And under 5th schedule, the areas of the mainland have a local self-government or an institution called as Tribal Advisory Council, TAC, Tribal Advisory Council, and the 6th schedule has an institution called as Autonomous District Council. This is something that you need to know, very important from the exam point of view. This is about the distribution of tribes. Now about the constitutional provisions for the safeguarding these tribes, for the safeguarding the rights of these tribes. You can see Article 15, Article 16, 19, the exceptions to Article 19 with respect to movement in the tribal areas is a protection for the rights of tribals. Article 46, which deals with the protection of education and also empowerment of the scheduled tribes and the scheduled caste. 335, okay, this is something that you would know because all these are a part of DPSP. So remember, Article 1 to Article 50, it should be on your fingertips. Okay, suppose you are aiming for 2023 prelims and mains, Article 1 to 50 should be on your fingertips, and you will know all these articles by default. And something that you will not be aware of is this: Article 330, 332, 334, 243D. Okay, these are very important provisions for the safeguarding the tribal rights. Article 330 deals with the reservation for the scheduled tribes in the House of People, that is Parliament. 332, reservation for the scheduled tribes in legislative assemblies of states, state legislative assemblies. Article 243D, that deals with the reservation of seats in panchayats. Okay, these are very important article numbers that you will have to remember from the exam point of view. If at all there is a question asked on the constitutional provisions of for the scheduled tribes, you will have to list down all these articles. Along with this, we also have some legislative provisions, like we have the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, which was constituted recently. We also have Forest Rights Act of 2006. Okay, and we also have Environmental Protection Act. Okay, so these are some of the legislative provisions that are in place for the protection of the lives of scheduled tribes. We also have the constitution of biosphere reserves. Okay, in environment, when you talk about biosphere reserves, the main concept of the biosphere reserves is cohabitation with respect to the tribal wildlife and also humans. Okay, so this is something that we need to know: constitutional measures and also the legislative measures. That's all for today. For more such enriching content, please subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy. Have a nice day. Thank you.